The Audi Q3 Sportback, it's quick, it's fast, pretty fast, it's comfortable and it's sporty enough to raise a lot of eyebrows. But is this one worth 51 lakh rupees before RTO, insurance and other taxes kick in? Well, let's find out. The pricing first. Now this one is only about 2% more expensive than the regular Q3. Yes, approximately 1 lakh rupee over the ex-showroom price of the regular Q3. So yeah, this one on paper is a good deal. But at the same time, you can purchase the elder sibling of this one, the Q5, for approximately 20% more money, and that is before any discounts on the Q5 kick in. So standalone, yes, it is not a bad deal, but there are other options from the same brand for approximately 20% more. Anyways, back to the Q3 Sportback. Now this is a new color, they call it the Turbo Blue, and under the summer sun, it is pretty bling enough. Based on the regular Q3, but from here onwards, from this part onwards, a lot of design changes. For example, the roof is sloping to give it more of a coupe and a sporty appeal, and the overall execution from this angle, it's pretty neat, it's pretty smart. This one, the Sportback with the color and the design, has been eye candy of sorts for us in the last couple of days. More changes and clever ones. We have an inbuilt spoiler, also have these fins on both the ends. These could be of help at higher speeds, we'll find out in a few seconds, in the video I mean. And then the alloy wheels have a more sporty design as compared to the regular Q3, but in my opinion, Audi could have given them a more jazzier kind of design. The bumpers on both the ends, they are changed, they are sportier, they are angrier, and even the grille on this one is different than the regular Q3. It is the top of the line S-Line version, so you have S-Line badging on both the ends, and because it's a performance SUV, the power goes to all the four wheels, so Quattro badge at the rear. Now before we get to the performance part of the Q3 Sportback, which is a selling point, I want to show you the headroom or the lack of it at the back. Is this true? Well, the roof on the back of the car starts sloping down, but even if you are 6 feet tall like me, I have approximately an inch of headroom left over here. The driver's seat is currently for a person who is 5'10", and I have a couple of inches of legroom. So space at the back is not as bad as what some of the other videos have been showing in the past in India. It's pretty livable. If you are 5'8", 5'9", no issues at the back. The small issue is that if you're sitting at the back and your phone needs charging, you have to ask the driver or co-driver, because surprise, surprise, there is no charging outlet over here for rear passengers in the Q3 Sportback. The small plus point is that on both the sides of the rear seat, you have a clever space to park your phone or to park your mobile on the move. So these things are pretty nice. The boot of the car is huge, it's deep, it's wide, so very useful for your long journeys. Now I'll do one thing, I'll switch over to this side to show you if you're going to be using the car on a daily basis as a chauffeur-driven car and you put the co-driver seat all the way ahead, how is the space on the left side? Well, here you go. Now this is something that the Q3 Sportback can offer you in spite of the sporty intention and the sporty design over here. If you're going to be chauffeur-driven back home after a long day at work, even a tall person like me, 6 feet tall, can just cross the legs and relax. This is superb. Now this one gets the famous and popular and commonly used 2000cc turbo petrol engine from the Audi family. For the Q3 Sportback, the power and torque figures are similar to the normal Q3. You have 190 horses and 320 Nm of torque. Mated to a 7-speed DSG transmission. I've been using it for the last couple of days. It performs mostly well in almost every situation. The gearbox, you also have the paddle shifters coming in over here. I told you it's a Quattro, so the power can go to all the four wheels depending upon the situation. First thing, how quick is the car? Audi claims this to be a very quick car for the segment. How quick? Well, coming up on your screens right away. yeah, it does get to 60, 80, 100, even 150 pretty quick. And at these speeds, is it very calm and composed? Well, out on the Mumbai Expressway, a lot of crosswinds, and post 130, 140, I could feel those winds affecting the stability to an extent. But that said, for cross country, mild munching ability, sitting at 120, 130 all day long, not an issue. Another plus point is that the 7th gear seems to be pretty tall, so the RPM remains low. In fact, if you hold the car at 90 in the 7th gear, cruise control on with the AC running, you can even see 20 kmpl as the average on the display. So it can be a very frugal companion as well. The issue is this car will go fast. It's a very quick car. It will beat most other cars in the segment in the price band, but it does not make noise about it. The NVS levels are so nice that you don't get to hear the engine roar. Sometimes we as enthusiasts, when we're going fast, pedal to metal, we want the car to reward us with that kind of sound. This one does not do it. The plus point, out in the city with traffic around or cruising at 120 on open roads, the cabin remains quiet. So you can have a very peaceful conversation with all the passengers, your co-driver or ones at the back. You leave the highway, you attack a set of twisties. This one comes across as a very neutral handling car, much like the normal Q3. So it's not very razor sharp in the way it responds, but I think for most owners, it will do the job pretty well. It's got the the drive modes like the normal Q3. I've tried all of them and they seem to work pretty well. So between both the cars, the Q3 and the Sportback, the rider handling, they remain more or less same. Now, one more thing I want to highlight is that in spite of seat ventilation not being over here, the whole ergonomics, they are very comfortable. The seats provide you a good cushioning as well. NVH is sorted, the ride quality is sorted, so it can be a very fatigue-free companion for non-stop long distance stints. Looking at a weekend getaway with your friends or family, there is no reason why you should not do it in a Q3 Sportback. It will reward you with a fatigue-free experience both for you as well as the passengers. In terms of the cabin experience in the first row, second row, I was pretty impressed. In the first row, again, the layout is much like the normal Q3 and it's a good place to be. The central console is slightly tilted towards the driver, so it's driver-centric. You have a couple of screens, one over here and one for the speedometer console. Everything seems to have been built nicely in a quality manner. There are no shortcuts apart from the fact that few plastics over here, they seem to be on the harder side. So that important plush or premium feel from the top part of the dashboard is missing. But apart from that, no issues. The screen responds very well, and I am a fan of these rotary dials for the AC controls. Below that is the aircraft type toggle switches, sort of toggle switches for putting on the driving modes, ESP off or on, or even getting control of the idle start stop system. I don't like that in summer, so you can switch off from that. Space is not an issue. You have place to keep a mobile phone. Wireless charging is sorted. Couple of cup holders and a usable glove box over here. Even the door pads are generous. A proper big bottle can come in very easily and still have space for a cloth for cleaning your car or a wallet. By the way, this is where you have the switch for opening the boot. The boot also gives you hands-free access. You approach the boot, swing your leg over and the boot will open up. So in terms of practicality, storage spaces sorted. I stand 6 feet tall, good driving position right now. Visibility is nice and I have a couple of inches of headroom left over here in spite of this sunroof coming in over here. It's not a panoramic sunroof, a normal sunroof in this price band. The last couple of days with the Q3 Sportback have been amazing and surprising at the same time. Why do I say so? Well, I think in the 50 lakh rupee bracket, this truly is an all-rounder premium SUV with a coupe stance. I think I'm not wrong by saying that this is the most affordable coupe SUV in the luxury space you can buy in India. So yes, it looks hot, it goes fast, reasonably comfortable and recommended by us at 91 wheels, even if at the cost of a few missing features.